The moment you start desiring something, it starts moving towards you. But that's the moment where you make the mistake too. Do not ask how, and do not wonder when. These are the questions of a mind still asleep to its own power. There is no distance between you and wealth, save for the illusion that you must earn it. I tell you now, you already are what you seek. You are not the beggar knocking at the door. You are the owner of the house. Look not to your bank account for proof of your wealth. Look instead to your inner vision. For what you accept is true within, the world must mirror without. The treasure does not come after the feeling. It comes because of it. So feel now. Assume the state of the one who no longer desires because they already possess. Let your spine straighten with the confidence of financial freedom. Let your thoughts be dressed in the silk of abundance. Walk as the millionaire does, not in arrogance, but in ease, for nothing is missing from the one who knows. Do not try to get rich. Be rich in consciousness first. Stop trying so hard to make it happen. Let it be. You must believe not by force, but by familiarity. You believe you're wealthy because you've rehearsed it so well in the silence of your soul. The world has no choice but to play its part. Detach from the noise and ignore the evidence of lack. Lack is only a shadow cast by your former belief. Don't fight it. Replace it. Replace it with the unwavering knowing that wealth is not arriving. It has arrived, and it's simply catching up to you in time. Speak richly. Speak not as one who waits, but as one who remembers. Every word you utter confirms who you are. So say, I am wealthy, not as a wish, but as a decree. Give thanks not when it appears, but before. Gratitude is the password. It signals to the universe that you have received. And once you have received within, no force in the world can keep it from you. The inner millionaire is not an idea. It is your true self calling you forward. Let go of trying and waiting. You are not becoming rich. You are rich already. Before the world can ever reflect your wealth, it must first be formed, nurtured, and lived within the sanctuary of your mind. Wealth is not something you pursue outside of yourself, like a man chases the horizon. It is not found in the grinding, striving, or collecting. It begins in the unseen, in silence, in the invisible world of your imagination. You have been taught to look outside of yourself for riches, to hustle, to grind, to sacrifice your peace for gain. But true wealth laughs at such efforts. It is not birthed from force. It is born in belief. The world does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are and who you believe yourself to be. You do not attract what you chase. You attract what you are. And so if you desire riches, you must not see yourself as someone who is lacking, reaching out for something that isn't here. You must become the awareness of wealth itself. Close your eyes for a moment and picture what your life would look like if you were already everything you desire to be. What clothes are you wearing? What kind of home surrounds you? What kind of air fills your lungs? What does your schedule feel like? Do you rush, or do you glide with time as your servant, not your master? You see, these are not childish games. These are the keys. Your imagination is not fantasy. It is the blueprint of your reality. It is the secret chamber where all creation begins. Everything you now see was once imagined. Every building, every car, every company, every dollar in circulation. It began as a thought, a vision, a moment of belief in the unseen. Why would it be any different for you? The moment you imagine yourself as wealthy and truly feel it, not as a distant hope, but as a present truth, you shift your identity. And when your identity shifts, your world must conform. The law is simple. What you accept is true within must become fact without. You cannot pretend to be rich while secretly seeing yourself as poor. You cannot rehearse lack in your thoughts and expect abundance in your life. The outer world will always echo the state you occupy within. This is why the wise never speak from circumstance. They speak from conviction. They don't describe what is, they declare what must be, because they have seen it in their imagination and have claimed it as theirs. They walk in faith, not blind belief, but inner knowing. You are not just a body in the world. You are consciousness, awareness, imagination in motion. You are the projector, not the screen. And so if the movie you're watching is full of scarcity, you don't change the screen. You change the film. You change the inner assumptions. You dare to believe something new, something greater. See yourself now as the one who already has, not someday, not after the promotion, not when the market changes, right now. See it and live in that vision. Speak from that place and think from that place. Give thanks from that place. Your feelings will confirm when you're there. Peace and ease will come. And those are your true companions to wealth. Wealth begins in the imagination, because that is the only place anything has ever begun. Your riches will not come from struggle. They will come from inner alignment. You're not chasing money. You are becoming one with the awareness of abundance. And once that becomes your natural state, your outer world will have no choice but to fall in line. There is a subtle but powerful truth hidden from the world, and it is this: you do not become wealthy by trying harder. You become wealthy by embodying the state of one who already is. The world has confused effort for creation, striving for becoming, and in doing so, it has led many into exhaustion. But the secret has always been in the feeling. What you feel yourself to be is what the world will ultimately confirm. The mind seeks to fix the outer world, to hustle and manipulate events into place. But that path is endless and tiring. There is another way. It begins not with the outer, but the inner, not with action, but with assumption. What if in this very moment, you stopped seeing yourself as someone working toward wealth, and instead began living as someone who already possesses it? This is not make-believe. This is the core of transformation. To assume the feeling of already being wealthy is to step into a version of yourself that knows without doubt or hesitation that abundance is already yours. It is to feel the peace, the power, the freedom, and the quiet confidence that comes with knowing you are supported by life itself. When you feel wealthy, not for show or for others, but in the deep stillness of your soul, you begin to change what the world reflects back to you. You must understand, feeling is the secret bridge between the unseen and the seen. Everything you desire already exists in the realm of the unseen, but it can only move into form when it is matched with the right emotional frequency. That frequency is not found in desperation. It is not found in fear or stress or lack. It is found in the calm, unwavering sensation of already having. So pause. Go within. Imagine a life where you no longer worry about money, where every need is met before you even ask, where opportunities flow to you with ease. Don't simply see it. Feel it. Feel the gratitude for that life. Feel the freedom. Feel the expansion. What does your body feel like in that state? How do you carry yourself? How do you speak, decide, and move through the day? Let that feeling become so real, so natural, that it no longer feels like a dream, but a memory of something that's always been yours. You don't need permission to feel wealthy now. You don't need to wait for a bank statement or a title or a business deal. The moment you wait, you have declared yourself separate from it. But the moment you feel, you claim it. You bring the unseen into being. And this is the great paradox. The feeling must come first. The feeling draws the form. The world of conditions and circumstances will follow your inner conviction, not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. This is not law by force, but law by being. Every time you assume the feeling of being wealthy, you rewire the mind. You soften resistance, and you allow your world to reconfigure itself. It doesn't matter how far away your goals seem. Time is not your master, your state is. And the state you dwell in emotionally and mentally becomes your experience. There is no outer world without the inner world, first breathing life into it. So instead of striving, begin remembering. Begin identifying with the version of you who already lives in abundance. This is not about pretending. This is about returning to a truth that has always been quietly whispering within you. You are not becoming wealthy. You are awakening to the fact that wealth has always been within you, waiting for you to feel it real. Let that feeling guide you now, and the world will follow. The greatest illusion you will ever face is the belief that what you see with your eyes is all there is. Your senses, as sharp as they may be, are not sources of truth. They are messengers of your past assumptions. What you see, hear, and experience right now is not the ultimate reality, but a reflection of the state you have most consistently accepted as true within yourself. To live only by what you see is to remain bound by yesterday's beliefs. You must learn to detach from what is, if you ever hope to step into what can be. The outer world is not the cause, it is the echo. It is the shadow of a deeper, invisible world within you. And if you continue to react to the echo, you will keep recreating the same scenes, the same cycles, the same results. But if you can ignore the noise of appearances and hold fast to the unseen vision, you unlock the true power of creation. This detachment is not denial. It is mastery. You are not ignoring the facts. You are refusing to let them dictate your future. You are choosing to believe in something greater than your current circumstance. You are choosing to believe that your imagination is more real than your surroundings. Because it is. Every great change, every transformation, every success that has ever occurred in history began not with what was, but with someone bold enough to live from what will be. To persist in the inner vision, even when the outer world offers no support, is the mark of a powerful creator. It requires faith, not the kind that waits for signs, but the kind that creates signs. It is not a passive waiting, but an active claiming. You see it, you feel it, and you walk in it even when no one else does. This is the essence of detachment. Your inner reality becomes so dominant, so vivid, so alive, that the outer world must eventually conform. Look around you right now. Everything you consider real was once a thought in someone's mind. Someone once closed their eyes and saw what no one else could see. They believed it before it existed. They walked in it before it arrived. That's the secret the world won't teach you. Reality is delayed imagination. What you hold in consciousness now will show itself in form, if you don't let the noise of now talk you out of it. You are not meant to argue with circumstances. You are not meant to plead with reality. You are meant to transcend it, to rise above appearances and stand firm in the state of the wish fulfilled. And when doubt whispers, when nothing seems to be changing, you smile. Not because you're pretending, but because you know the truth. The unseen is more powerful than the seen. The cause is internal, and the outer must yield to the inner. So practice the discipline of stillness. Return again and again to your chosen vision. Feel it real. Speak from it. Think from it. Rest in it. Do not let your senses shake you. Train them instead. Tell your eyes what to see. Tell your ears what to hear. And teach your body what it feels like to live in the end result. In time, the world will bend, not because you forced it, but because you refused to leave your inner post. You stayed loyal to the vision. You detached from what is, and you gave your loyalty to what must be. That is the path of the master. That is how you rise in poor appearances. Persist in the inner vision. The world is a mirror, and it must reflect what you boldly assume to be true. The world within you is speaking long before your lips ever move. Every word you speak, every thought you allow to linger, and every silent assumption you hold in the shadows of your mind, they are creating. They are not just reflections of your reality. They are the blueprint of it. If you desire to live richly, you must first begin to speak richly. Walk boldly and think abundantly. There is no other way. You do not wait for riches to speak like a wealthy person. You speak this way because you already are. You cannot plant seeds of lack and expect to harvest abundance. The law is too precise for that. You must begin to speak with authority, with clarity, and with expectancy. Speak as though you know the doors are already open. Speak as though the universe is bending over backward to honor your inner state, because it is. When you speak richly, you're not boasting. You're not pretending. You are aligning. You are aligning your language with your vision. You are reminding your mind and your body of what it means to live in the end. Words are not small. They are not idle. Every sentence, Every phrase you utter becomes a silent instruction to your subconscious. If you speak of struggle, of waiting, of how far you are, do not be surprised when your world reflects exactly that. But speak as one who knows, and your life must echo that knowing. And it does not end with words. You must walk boldly. Carry yourself as one who is already chosen, already favored, already abundant, not out of arrogance, but from conviction. Let your body reflect the truth you hold within. Do you realize how powerful your walk is when it matches your vision? Every step you take with intention becomes a declaration to life itself. I am ready. I am certain. I am it. A person who walks boldly does not question their place. They do not seek permission. They do not wait for external validation to believe they belong. They decide. And in that decision, everything around them begins to reorganize to match their certainty. So walk boldly, not because of what you have, but because of who you've become in consciousness. Walk like someone who already holds the key to every room they enter. But above all, think abundantly. This is where everything begins. Your thoughts are the silent architects of your experience. No one hears them, but the universe responds to them. What are you imagining when no one is watching? What are you rehearsing in your mind? Are you mentally preparing for delays, for disappointments, for resistance? Or are you rehearsing success, ease, flow, and favor? Think abundantly, not just in terms of money, but in time, energy, love, and creativity. Lack cannot speak where wealth lives. The two cannot dwell in the same space. When you think richly, when you believe there is always more than enough, life mirrors that belief. Scarcity shrinks your world. Abundance expands it. Every moment is a chance to realign. When you catch yourself thinking small, stop. When you hear lack in your speech, shift. When you feel hesitation in your body, straighten up. Reclaim the power that is already yours. You are not waiting for wealth to change you. You are choosing to embody wealth now so that it must express through you. Do not underestimate the simplicity of this practice. It is not complicated. Speak richly. Walk boldly. Think abundantly. Let your life become the natural expression of one who knows their worth. When you align your words, your walk, and your thoughts with your wealthy self, the world has no choice but to meet you where you stand. You are not trying, chasing, or becoming. You are awakening. The grand illusion is that you must strive and struggle, work endlessly, and prove your worth before you can call yourself wealthy, abundant, and complete. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. You already are. There is nothing to add. There is only something to remember. The millionaire is not a destination. It is a state of consciousness, a way of being, and it lives within you now. The moment you stop looking outside yourself for validation, permission, or proof, you begin to see clearly. The wealth was never out there. It was always encoded in you, quietly waiting for your recognition. You don't transform into a powerful creator. You realize you are one. You don't build your worth. You recognize it. It is not effort that makes you rich. It is identity. And when you shift your identity, your world follows. This is not theory. This is law. Every desire you have is a whisper from the deeper self, the higher self, reminding you of who you really are, not who you could be, not who you might become if you try hard enough, but who you already are, beneath the layers of conditioning, fear, and doubt. You are not meant to strive for wealth. You are meant to step into it, to embody it, to assume it as natural, as effortless, as obvious. But the world has taught you the opposite. It has trained you to measure your worth by your bank account, your status, your job title, your past. It has told you that success must be earned, and that abundance is reserved for the few. None of that is true. It is not truth. It is programming. And you are here now to unlearn it all. You do not have to convince anyone. You do not have to defend your vision. You do not have to explain why you feel destined for more. The only one you must convince is yourself. Because the moment you accept that you already are, life rushes to mirror that acceptance. Not slowly, not someday, instantly. The outer simply lags behind the inner by a moment. That is all. Everything you do from the awareness of I already am carries a different frequency. It's not forced or desperate. It flows. You make decisions with clarity. You take steps with ease. You stop asking, how will this happen? And start declaring, this is who I am. And when your internal conviction deepens, the how becomes irrelevant, because the manifestation becomes inevitable. You are not becoming a millionaire. You are remembering that abundance is your nature, scarcity is the illusion, and lack is the lie. And as you peel away the false ideas, you reveal the truth. You are never broken, never unworthy, never behind. You are simply asleep. But now you are awake. Feel the difference between effort and embodiment. One tries, the other knows. One hopes, the other lives it now. You are not required to wait until the money shows up to feel wealthy. Feel it first, and it must show up. That is the way it works. This is the Great Awakening. Not that you must earn it, but that you've always had it. Not that you must chase it, but that it's chasing you. So stop waiting, stop doubting, stop delaying, step into the truth with full conviction. You are not transforming into something new. You are finally seeing what has always been true. You already are, and nothing can take that away from you. Use gratitude as a manifestation tool. Gratitude is not something you give after the blessing arrives. It is the very force that brings the blessing into form. It is not a passive emotion. It is a powerful act of creation. To feel thankful before the evidence appears is to declare without wavering that what you desire is already yours. Gratitude in this sense is the boldest expression of faith. It is proof that you believe more in the unseen than in the seen, more in the spiritual cause than in the physical effect. Most people wait to feel grateful. They wait until the money is in their account, until the opportunity appears, until the success is visible and confirmed by others. But that is not gratitude. That is observation. Gratitude is not a reaction. It is a choice. It is the invisible key that unlocks the visible realm. When you give thanks in advance, you are not pretending. You are aligning. You are placing your trust in the unseen hand that moves all things. This is why gratitude is so powerful. It bypasses doubt, it silences fear, it renders lack irrelevant. Because when you give thanks for something you cannot yet see, you are stating clearly to the universe that you no longer question its arrival. You no longer worry about how or when. You simply know it is already done. And the one who knows receives. Gratitude does not beg. It does not plead. It does not hope timidly. Gratitude declares. It says, thank you, not as a wish, but as a confirmation. Thank you for the abundance that is now mine. Thank you for the opportunities that are unfolding. Thank you for the success that has already occurred in the unseen. To live in gratitude is to live as if the miracle has already happened. It is to wake up and say, thank you for the wealth that flows to me. Thank you for the health that radiates from me. Thank you for the joy that surrounds me. You do not wait to see it. You decide to see it now. And that decision is magnetic. Life rushes to meet the tone you set. The secret door to abundance is not locked. It simply requires a key that few are willing to use: belief before sight. And gratitude is that key. It opens the floodgates because it proves that you trust the process, not partially, not occasionally. Every time you feel grateful, you are activating the law. You are shifting your focus from what is missing to what is already here in seed form. And what you focus on grows. Gratitude waters the soil of your consciousness. It nurtures the seed of your vision. It prepares your inner world to receive the outer manifestation. Start now. Even if your current reality seems empty, lacking, or delayed, speak gratitude into the silence. Say thank you in the face of resistance. Praise in the presence of doubt. Rejoice not because it has appeared, but because you know it must. This is the sacred art of creation. The more you practice it, the faster things shift. Gratitude is not for the world. It is for you. It reshapes your inner landscape until your outer world has no choice but to catch up. It is the signal you send that you are no longer waiting. You are living in the answered prayer. You are walking in the reality that your old self only dreamed of. So give thanks now. Give thanks boldly. Give thanks without conditions. Let your gratitude be loud, consistent, unwavering, because it is through that door that all abundance enters. Gratitude is the sound of your faith speaking, and the universe always answers that sound. Understand this. You are not here to chase wealth. You are here to realize it. Every word, every assumption, every inner feeling you've embraced throughout this journey is a key unlocking the truth that you were never separate from abundance. The millionaire is not someone you must become. It is who you already are in the unseen, waiting to be expressed through consciousness, feeling, and belief. You have now remembered that wealth begins not with money, but with imagination. That you must assume the feeling of already being rich. Live boldly from the unseen vision. Think and speak in alignment with your higher self. And give thanks before it arrives, because it has arrived in the world within, and that is where all things are born. There is nothing outside of you to wait for. There is only the moment when you know deeply and without doubt that it is already yours. That moment is now. As you close your eyes tonight and open them tomorrow morning, remember this truth. You are not the same person who began listening these words. Something has shifted within you, a recognition, an awakening, a remembering of what was always true. The old story of struggle and lack has lost its power over you. The new story, your true story, is one of inherent abundance, of natural wealth, of effortless flow. This is not a story you must write. It is one you must simply allow to unfold. You will face moments when the outer world tries to convince you otherwise. When bills arrive, when accounts seem empty, when others question your certainty, in those moments, return here. Return to this knowing. Return to the feeling of wealth that lives in your bones, in your breath, in the very essence of who you are. You are the master of your inner world, and your inner world is the only world that truly matters. Everything else is merely a reflection waiting to catch up to your consciousness. Walk forward now as the wealthy being you are. Speak as one who knows. Think as one who has. Feel as one who is complete. The universe is conspiring not just to meet your needs, but to exceed your wildest dreams, because it recognizes what you have finally remembered. You are not separate from abundance. You are abundance itself, temporarily wearing the costume of a human being. The curtain rises on your new life now. Step into it with the confidence of one who knows the script was written in their favor, long before the play began. You already are. You have always been. You will always be. Welcome home to abundance. Have you ever wondered if your thoughts are secretly shaping your reality, and that they might be the most powerful tool you have? What if every fleeting idea, every hidden belief, is already building your future, moment by moment? Tonight, we get to take that power back. I'm going to show you how to turn your thoughts into your greatest ally, so you can create the life you actually want, on purpose and at full power. We've all heard the phrase mind over matter, but what if I told you this isn't just a motivational saying? It's actually the very heart of what we call the law of attraction. Tonight, we're going to explore the extraordinary power you have to manifest your dreams through the deliberate direction of your thoughts. Yes, it really can be that simple. You see, harnessing the power of your own thoughts may very well be the key to realizing your wildest aspirations. You're not just a passive observer of your life's circumstances. You're the active architect of your experience. And every single thought you entertain serves as a blueprint for what's to come. So I invite you to open your minds as we embark on this fascinating journey into the world of manifestation, where your thoughts are truly about to become your reality. In the realm of personal development, you will find that your thoughts have an impressive power to shape your reality. You are not just a passive recipient of circumstances, you are the active creator. Every thought you entertain is a seed that can grow into a reality. It's up to you to cultivate positive, empowering thoughts and weed out the negative ones. Imagine your thoughts as invisible architects designing your future. They are not just idle musings, they have real, tangible consequences. You might not see the immediate effects, but rest assured, they are at work. Every thought you hold, every belief you harbor, serves as a blueprint for your life. You have heard the saying, you are what you eat. Now consider this. You are what you think. Your thoughts are the raw material from which your life is crafted. And you, my friend, are the master craftsman. You hold the chisel and the hammer. You have the power to sculpt your life into a masterpiece of your choosing. Don't underestimate the power of your thoughts. They are your most potent tool for personal growth and transformation. Harness them, direct them towards your dreams, and watch as they become your reality. You have got a powerful tool at your disposal, and it's time to understand how to use it. The theory of manifestation is all about turning your thoughts into tangible realities. Think of your mind as a magnet, attracting circumstances, people, and resources that align with your thoughts. Believe it or not, you are creating your reality every moment with every thought. You are like a sculptor, shaping the clay of your life with the chisel of your mind. You see, the universe operates on energy and vibrations. Your thoughts are energy, your feelings are vibrations, and together they act as a signal to the universe. Send out positive, hopeful signals, and you will attract positive, hopeful experiences. It's as simple as that. But how, you might ask, how do I manifest my desires? It starts with clarity. Be clear on what you want. Visualize it, feel it, and then release it to the universe. Trust that it will come to fruition. Next, be consistent. Your thoughts should align with your desires, not contradict them. If you desire wealth but constantly worry about lack, you are sending mixed signals. So focus on abundance instead. Finally, take action. Manifestation isn't about sitting around and waiting. It's about doing, moving, living in alignment with your desires. You have got this. You can manifest your dreams. Remember, you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the creator of them. So go ahead. Shape your world with your thoughts. Manifest your destiny, one thought at a time. Now let's delve into the basics of the law of attraction, a principle that's deeply intertwined with the role of manifestation. At its core, the law of attraction states that like attracts like. Put simply, your thoughts and feelings shape your reality. You are a magnet, attracting the experiences, people, and outcomes that align with your thoughts and emotions. Think of your mind as a garden. The seeds you plant, nurture, and cultivate grow into the realities of your life. If you consistently plant seeds of positivity, you will reap a life filled with joy, success, and abundance. On the other hand, if you let weeds of negativity take over, you will find yourself in a cycle of lack and disappointment. Don't underestimate the power of your thoughts and emotions. They are your tools for creation. You have the capacity to mold your reality like clay in your hands. The key is to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. Remember, the law doesn't discern between good and bad. It simply matches your energy. Project positivity, gratitude, and optimism, and you will attract the same. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a principle of the universe, a law as real and unwavering as gravity. It's an empowering truth that you have control over your life. Believe in the law of attraction, harness its power, and you will see incredible changes. You are not just a passive observer in your life. You are an active participant, shaping your destiny with every thought and feeling. So start now. Think positive, feel positive, and watch as your world transforms. While understanding the law of attraction is crucial, it's equally important to recognize the role positivity plays in manifestation. You see, the universe is like a giant mirror reflecting back to you what you put out there. If you exude positivity, you will attract positive outcomes. Like a magnet, your positive thoughts, feelings, and actions pull in positivity from the universe. However, maintaining a positive mindset isn't always easy, is it? Life throws curveballs, and it's tempting to let negativity seep in. But remember that you are in control. You have the power to change your thoughts, and consequently your reality. Every time you catch yourself dwelling on the negatives, flip the script. Replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. Visualize your dreams as if they are already happening. Feel the joy, the pride, the success. Bask in that positivity. Let it fill you up and watch as it manifests into your reality. Positivity is more than just a mindset, it's a lifestyle. It's about being grateful for what you have while striving for what you want. It's about finding the silver lining in every situation. It's about believing in your ability to manifest your dreams. Let's dive into the fascinating world of neuroscience that backs up the power of positive thinking. Believe it or not, your thoughts have a significant impact on your brain structure and function. When you engage in positive thinking, you are actually fostering changes in your brain that can improve your health, happiness, and overall well-being. You see, your brain isn't a static organ, but a dynamic one constantly changing and adapting. This concept, known as neuroplasticity, is the key to understanding the power of your thoughts. When you think happy ideas on a regular basis, you are developing new neural connections and reinforcing old ones. This can enhance your cognitive abilities, boost your mood, and even help protect against mental health disorders. Furthermore, positive thinking helps trigger the release of feel-good neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. These chemicals not only make you feel happier, but also contribute to a host of beneficial effects, such as better sleep, improved focus, and reduced stress levels. You are essentially training your brain to be more positive, and the more you practice, the better you will get. It's like building a muscle. The more you work out, the stronger it becomes. So don't underestimate the power of positive thinking. It's scientifically proven to change your brain for the better. In a nutshell, your thoughts have the power to shape your reality. So why not make it a positive one? Embrace positive thinking and watch as it transforms not only your mind, but your life as well. You might have several misconceptions about manifestation, and it's important to address them to fully leverage this powerful tool. You may think it's all about wishful thinking, or that it's a quick path to easy riches, but that's not the case. Manifestation is a process that requires focus, clarity, and a deep understanding of your desires. Think of it as a journey, not a race. It is not about immediately attaining what you want, but about connecting your thoughts and actions with your desires. This process takes time, effort, and patience, but don't be disheartened. The results are worth the wait. Another common misconception is that negative thoughts will destroy your chances of successful manifestation. But it's not about never having negative thoughts, it's about acknowledging them, understanding where they are coming from, and then consciously shifting your focus to positivity. Remember, it's okay to stumble. It's okay to have doubts. What's important is that you don't dwell there. Lastly, manifestation isn't a magic trick. It's a practice. It's a process of aligning your thoughts, your actions, and your energy with your desired outcome. It's about taking responsibility for your life and creating what you want. Shifting your focus to the present moment. Practicing mindful thinking can offer you tremendous benefits and enhance your manifestation process. You are not just developing a habit, you are cultivating a superpower. This sense of mindfulness empowers you to control your thoughts and emotions, rather than allowing them to control you. Imagine a life where you are less reactive to stress and more tuned into the joy and happiness of the present. That's what mindful thinking can do for you. It can reduce anxiety and depression, improve your concentration and memory, and even enhance your physical health. It's not magic, it's science. But it's not just about the personal benefits. Embracing mindful thinking can bring positivity into your interactions with others. You will find yourself listening more, judging less, and experiencing deeper, more meaningful connections. Now let's talk about manifestation. Mindful thinking can supercharge your manifestation process. By becoming fully aware of your thoughts, you can direct them towards your desires with precision and clarity. The universe responds to clear, focused thought. So imagine the power you hold when you are in full control of your mind. Don't underestimate the power of mindful thinking. It's a tool, a weapon, a shield, and a guide all in one. It's time to tap into this power, to embrace the present, and to become the architect of your destiny. So what are you waiting for? Start practicing mindful thinking today. Experience the power, the peace, and the potential it holds. You've got this. Harnessing the power of mindful thinking. Let's now delve into the specific steps you need to take for effective manifestation. Trust me, it isn't as daunting as it may seem. Firstly, you need to get clear on precisely what you want. This isn't just about wishing vaguely for more money or happiness. Be specific. Decide on the exact amount or the specific sources of joy. The more precise you are, the more your energy can align with your desire. Secondly, ask the universe for what you want. You are not merely wishing on a star here. You are actively expressing your desires to the universe in a mindful, intentional way. This can be done through visualization, affirmations, or even writing it down. Next, trust the process. It's easy to get caught up in doubts and fears, but it's vital that you trust in the universe's ability to deliver. Remember, your thoughts are potent. They are the seeds you are sowing for your future. Lastly, be open to receiving. When the universe begins to respond, don't shrug it off as coincidence. Embrace it, thank the universe for it. This step is crucial in sustaining the manifestation process. So there you have it, your roadmap to effective manifestation. It's not about sitting back and waiting for things to magically appear. It's about taking control, setting clear intentions, and trusting in the power of your thoughts. You are more powerful than you realize. The power of affirmations plays an instrumental role in the law of attraction, acting as a conduit for your thoughts and desires to reach the universe. These powerful statements or beliefs you tell yourself can shape your reality, bring about change, and attract what you want in life. Think of it this way: your mind is a broadcasting station, sending out vibrations to the universe. When you consciously choose positive affirmations, you are tuning your station to a frequency that attracts positive outcomes. You are telling the universe exactly what you want, and it's listening. Consider the most successful people you know. They didn't just sit around waiting for success to happen. They affirmed their dreams, their ambitions, their goals. They believed in their potential, even when faced with setbacks. They knew the power of a positive mindset, and they harnessed it through affirmations. But here's the key. You can't just say your affirmations. You have to believe them. You have to live them. That's the real power behind affirmations. They are not just words. They are your beliefs, your truth, and your future. When you embrace this power, you become a magnet for what you desire. So start today. Craft your affirmations, believe in them, live them. You will find that the universe responds in kind, bringing you closer to your dreams. On the flip side, if you let negative thoughts creep in, they can pull you away from your desired path and manifest unwanted outcomes in your life. Just like a small pebble can create a ripple effect in a pond, one negative thought can impact your entire day, week, or even your life. But you are stronger than that. You can change your thoughts and in turn, change your life. Negative thoughts are powerful, but so are you. You have the ability to control your thoughts and hence your destiny. It's not always easy, but it's entirely possible. Negative thoughts can make you feel stuck, but remember, you are not a tree. You can change your thinking and shift your focus from the negative to the positive. When you dwell on negative thoughts, you are actually giving them power to dictate your actions. But what if you divert that energy towards positive thinking? You will not only feel happier, but you will also find yourself attracting more positivity into your life. It's a simple equation. The more you focus on the negative, the more negativity you attract. The more you focus on the positive, the more positivity you attract. In spite of your doubts and fears, you can conquer them and effectively transform your life. It's all about mindset. Recognize that these aren't concrete obstacles, but mental blocks that you have built up over time. They are not a part of you, but rather something you have the power to change. You must first acknowledge your fears, as this is the first step towards overcoming them. Don't push them away or ignore them. Confront them head on. Look them in the eye and say, I see you, and I will change you. Use them as fuel to propel you forward, not as an anchor holding you back. Understand that doubt is natural. It's your mind's way of questioning, of seeking answers. Don't see it as a negative, but rather an opportunity for growth. Remember, every question is a chance to learn something new. Next, turn to action. Don't allow fear to paralyze you, but make it motivate you. Begin with baby steps and gradually increase your confidence. You will soon realize that the fear of the unknown was just that, unknown. Once you dive in, you will find that you are stronger and more capable than you ever imagined. Finally, practice self-affirmation. Remind yourself of your strengths, your achievements, and your potential. You are capable, you are strong, and you can conquer your fears. Now that you are equipped to overcome doubts and fears, let's move on to the power of visualization. After all, seeing is indeed believing. While you are overcoming your doubts and fears, it's crucial you start visualizing your success. Because when you clearly picture your goals, you are more likely to achieve them. Visualization isn't just daydreaming. It's a powerful tool that can propel you towards your goals. You have got to see it to believe it. And even more importantly, you have got to believe it to see it. Imagine that you are a painter. The canvas is your life, and you are holding the brush. Each stroke represents your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs. If you paint a picture of success, of achievement, of overcoming obstacles, that's what you are likely to get. It's as simple as that. You see, the power of visualization lies in its ability to influence your mindset. It's a technique that can fuel your motivation, boost your confidence, and improve your focus. Every day, take a moment to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and picture your success. Visualize every detail, every step you need to take, every milestone you need to reach. Feel the joy of your achievement, and let it fill you with determination. Just as you frequently use visualization to shape your thoughts, it's equally important to incorporate mindfulness techniques into your routine to better understand and control your mind. Mindfulness, at its simplest, is the ability to be fully present, aware of where you are and what you are doing, and not overly reactive to what's going on around you. It's a skill that can be honed, and it starts by learning a few key techniques. Start by setting aside some time each day for mindfulness. Even just 5 minutes can make a significant difference. Close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing. Take note of the sensations of air entering and leaving your body. If your thoughts wander, gently bring them back to your breath. Next, try mindful eating. Savor each bite, taking note of the flavors and sensations. This not only enhances your enjoyment of the meal, but also encourages healthier eating habits. Lastly, practice mindful listening. When someone is speaking to you, pay full attention to them, pushing aside any internal or external distractions. This improves relationships and reduces misunderstanding. Remember, mindfulness isn't about achieving a state of eternal calm or emptiness. It's about being fully engaged in each moment. It's about learning to accept your thoughts, feelings, and the world around you just as they are. When you master these techniques, you are not only more in control of your thoughts, but also better equipped to create a positive mindset. With a positive mindset, you will find that achieving your goals isn't just possible, it's probable. Your thoughts are more powerful than you realize. They shape your reality, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you can do something, you are more likely to put in the effort required to make it happen. Instead of doubting yourself, visualize your success. See yourself standing at the finish line, basking in the glory of your achievement. Feel the thrill of accomplishment. Hear the applause of your peers. Embrace this vision as your reality. It doesn't matter if, but when. Remember, there's no try in the language of success. You either do or you don't. So let's remove try from your vocabulary. Replace it with will. You will achieve your goals. You will succeed. Speak these words to yourself and believe them. Positivity isn't just a state of mind. It's a habit. Practice it daily. Start each day with a positive affirmation. Remind yourself of your strengths. Recognize your progress. Celebrate your small victories. They add up to big ones. Positive thinking isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's about overcoming them with a spirit of optimism. Sure, there will be obstacles, but they are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. Each one takes you closer to your goal. Believe in your potential. Have faith in your abilities. Keep your eyes on the prize. With a positive mindset, achieving your goals isn't just possible, it's inevitable. You have got this. Now let's delve into the power of manifestation. Another crucial aspect of personal growth that goes hand in hand with positive thinking. Manifestation is the process of turning your thoughts, dreams, and desires into reality. It's not some magical trick, but a practical tool that can help you shape your future and reach your goals. Imagine the possibilities if you could turn your thoughts into tangible results. Sounds amazing, right? Now you might wonder, how does this work? It's simple. As I said earlier, your mind is a powerful tool. When you focus your thoughts on something you desire, you are sending a message to the universe. You are telling it what you want. This is the first step towards manifestation. You are setting an intention. But here's the thing. You can't just think about it. You have to believe in it. You need to live as if your dream is already a reality. This is where positive thinking comes in. It's a powerful ally in the process of manifestation. When you think positively, you are creating a vibrational match for your desires. You are aligning yourself with your goals. Finally, you must take action. Manifestation isn't about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It's about taking proactive steps towards your goals. It's about growth, personal development, and most importantly, believing in yourself. Boost your confidence through positive affirmations. Those powerful tools of self-talk can significantly boost your confidence and aid in manifesting your dreams. They are not some new age mumbo-jumbo but proven psychological strategies that help reshape your subconscious thoughts and behavior. You are a powerful, capable being, and these affirmations serve to remind you of that. Can you imagine? Just by repeating positive, empowering phrases to yourself, you can break the cycle of negative self-talk. This isn't a fanciful idea. It's backed by science. By regularly practicing positive affirmations, you are rewiring your brain to believe in your abilities and value, and that's where the magic happens. Let's think about it this way. You are the captain of your ship, steering yourself through the vast ocean of life. There are storms and rough waters, but you have got the wheel and you are in control. Positive affirmations are your compass, guiding you towards self-belief and confidence. But remember, you have got to be consistent. You can't just say these affirmations once and expect change. You've got to make it a habit. Every morning, stand in front of your mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and tell yourself that you are capable, you are deserving, you are enough, because you are. In your journey towards self-improvement, understanding the psychology of belief systems can be a real game changer. Your belief systems, those intricate webs of knowledge and experiences that shape your understanding of the world, are powerful tools for personal growth. They are not just static, rigid structures. Instead, they are dynamic, adaptable, and entirely within your control. Think of your beliefs as mental maps guiding your actions. If you believe you are capable and deserving of success, you are more likely to behave in ways that lead to success. Conversely, if you believe you are destined for failure, your actions may reflect that. But here's the fantastic part. You can change your beliefs. You have got the power to rewrite those mental maps, to reshape your belief systems in ways that serve your growth. Start by challenging any limiting beliefs that hold you back. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? Does it serve my highest good? If not, it's time to let it go. Next, cultivate positive beliefs that empower you. Believe in your potential, your worth, your ability to achieve your dreams. Affirm these beliefs daily, reinforcing them until they are deeply embedded in your psyche. Almost every aspect of your life is influenced by your thoughts. So it's essential you understand how to create your reality with them. Each thought you have is a tiny spark of creation, a seed that can grow into something beautiful or something destructive, depending on the energy you feed it with. But don't be overwhelmed. Rather, embrace this power you have within you. Consider this, you are the artist, and your thoughts are the brushstrokes that color your world. Your mind is a powerful tool, and just like any other tool, it's all about how you use it. Thoughts filled with positivity, love, and aspiration create a reality that mirrors these emotions. On the contrary, thoughts ruled by fear, doubt, or anger often manifest a world that reflects the same. You are not a passive observer in your life. You are an active participant. You have the power to shape your reality, to mold it into something that reflects your deepest desires and highest aspirations. It's a process, and it takes time, patience, and commitment, but it's entirely within your grasp. So think positively. Believe in the seemingly impossible. Dream bigger, because your thoughts have power. They have purpose, and they have the potential to transform your life. Start today. Start now. Create your reality with your thoughts. It's in your hands, it's in your mind, and it's within your reach. So keep this in mind. Your mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. You can either cultivate flowers or weeds. Accept the power of positive thinking. Use the law of attraction and begin manifesting your desires. Believe in your potential, affirm your confidence, and witness the magic unfold. After all, the reality you experience is the one you create with your thoughts. What I'm about to tell you will sound brutal, but it's the only way you'll ever escape the prison you've built around yourself. There's a version of you that must die today. Not physically, but mentally, spiritually, completely. And if you don't kill him first, he will kill every dream you've ever had. Stay with me, because by the end of this message, you'll understand why your biggest enemy isn't the world. It's the person you were yesterday. My friends, I want you to understand something that will change everything for you. The most dangerous lie you tell yourself is that gradual change will save you. That somehow, if you just improve by 1% each day, you'll magically transform into the person you're meant to be. But transformation isn't evolution. It's revolution. It's not a gentle unfolding. It's a violent overthrow of everything you've accepted as true about yourself. Right now, as you hear these words, there are two versions of you fighting for control. One is the person you've always been, comfortable with mediocrity, addicted to excuses, loyal to limitations. The other is who you're capable of becoming, powerful, focused, relentless in pursuit of your vision. These two cannot coexist. One must die for the other to live. Most people think they can negotiate with their old self. They believe they can gently coax themselves into greatness. I'll start tomorrow. I'll change gradually. I'll be more disciplined when I feel ready. This is the language of the defeated. This is how the weak version of you keeps you imprisoned in a cell of your own making. I have taught you that imagination creates reality. But whose imagination are you living from? The imagination of the person who scrolls through social media instead of building their empire. The imagination of the person who hits snooze instead of seizing the morning. Or the imagination of the person you're destined to become. Listen carefully to what I'm telling you. Your identity isn't who you are. It's who you've practiced being. Every time you've chosen comfort over growth, you've practiced being weak. Every time you've avoided responsibility, you've practiced being powerless. Every time you've settled for less, you've practiced being ordinary. And practice, my friend, makes permanent. The old you operates from a consciousness of lack. He sees problems where the new you sees opportunities. He feels fear where the new you feels excitement. He makes excuses where the new you makes results happen. He lives in the world of effects, always reacting, always responding, always at the mercy of circumstances. But here's what nobody tells you about this internal war, and why 99% of people lose it before they even realize they're fighting. Your old self doesn't just represent your past. He represents your comfort zone, your familiar patterns, your known limitations. He is the sum total of every story you've told yourself about why you can't, why you won't, why you shouldn't even try. This old self has been with you for years, decades perhaps. He knows your weaknesses intimately. He knows exactly what to whisper to make you surrender. He knows which fears to trigger, which doubts to amplify, which comfortable lies to tell you when the path of transformation becomes difficult. But understand this, the person you admire most, the one living the life you want, they weren't born different. They simply practiced being someone else until that someone became their reality. They killed their former self through repeated acts of becoming. They understood what I'm teaching you now, that you cannot rise to a new level of life while clinging to an old level of identity. The transformation I'm speaking of requires you to become intolerant of your own patterns, not disappointed, intolerant. The way you would react to poison in your food is how you must react to mediocrity in your life. You must develop an allergy to your own excuses so severe that the thought of making one becomes unbearable. Your old self will fight for survival with everything he has. He will whisper that you're being too hard on yourself. He will remind you of past failures. He will make you feel guilty for wanting more than what others accept. He will tell you that you're being unrealistic, that you should be grateful for what you have, that you're asking too much of life. This is where most people surrender. They mistake this resistance for a sign that they're on the wrong path. But this resistance is actually proof that you're on the right path. Your limitations only scream when they're dying. The louder the protest from your old self, the closer you are to breaking free. I have called this dying to your former state. And it's not metaphorical, it's literal. The thoughts you've thought, the emotions you've felt, the actions you've taken, they must actually cease to exist in your new reality. You cannot carry the consciousness of poverty into wealth, the consciousness of failure into success, the consciousness of limitation into freedom. Now, here's what you must understand about the exact process that will kill your old self forever. But I'm warning you, once you begin this process, there's no going back to the comfortable mediocrity you once knew. First, you must starve your old identity of the things that keep it alive. Stop feeding it comfort. Stop giving it easy choices. Stop allowing it to negotiate. Every time you choose discipline over impulse, you're literally starving the weak version of yourself to death. Every time you act in spite of not feeling like it, you're withdrawing life force from the old you and feeding it to the new you. The old you wakes up whenever he wants. The new you owns his mornings. The old you reacts to circumstances. The new you creates them. The old you hopes for change. The new you commands it. The old you waits for motivation. The new you operates from discipline. The old you seeks approval. The new you grants it to himself. Second, you must feed your new identity with experiences that strengthen it. Wake up earlier than you want to. Do the work without applause. Make decisions based on who you're becoming, not who you've been. Each act of becoming literally rewrites the story of your life. Each choice made from your new identity weakens the old one. But here's the mistake that ruins everything, and I see 90% of people make it without realizing. They think this is about self-improvement. It's not. This is about self-replacement. You're not trying to fix the old you. You're trying to replace him entirely. You're not upgrading your current self. You're becoming someone completely different. When I speak about assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, I'm not talking about pretending. I'm talking about literally becoming the person who already has what you want. That person thinks differently, acts differently, chooses differently. That person has different standards, different expectations, different non-negotiables. You cannot patch up your old identity with new habits and expect transformation. You cannot put new wine in old wineskins. The entire foundation must be rebuilt. The entire structure must be replaced. The entire consciousness must be renewed. This means questioning everything. The old version of you called normal, because normal is the enemy of exceptional. Normal is the cage that keeps eagles walking on the ground. Normal is the graveyard where potential goes to die. The version of you that hits the snooze button, that avoids responsibility, that scrolls instead of builds. He is not your friend. He is your captor. And here's exactly how you know the transformation is working. These are the signs your old self is finally dying. You'll stop seeking approval for your decisions, because you'll approve of yourself. You'll stop explaining your choices to people who wouldn't make them. You'll become comfortable disappointing others, if it means staying true to your vision. Your standards will become so high that your old habits literally cannot survive in their presence. Like trying to breathe underwater, they simply cannot exist in your new environment. The thoughts that once seemed natural will feel foreign. The actions that once seemed normal will feel impossible. People will notice something different about you, but they won't be able to name it. That's because you're no longer carrying the energy of who you used to be. You're embodying the frequency of who you've chosen to become. Your posture changes. Your voice changes. Your presence changes. Everything about you reflects the new identity you've assumed. This is what I mean by walking in the assumption. You don't hope to become great. You assume you already are, and let your actions align with that assumption. You don't try to build confidence. You assume you're already confident and act accordingly. You don't work towards success. You assume you're already successful and make choices from that state. But let me tell you about the final test that determines whether you'll actually succeed or just become another person who tried and failed. The final test comes when your old self makes his last desperate attempt to survive. When you're tired, when you're alone, when no one is watching, that's when he'll offer you the comfort of going back to who you were. He'll remind you how much easier it was before. He'll tell you that you're working too hard, that you deserve a break, that you've already changed enough. He'll paint a picture of the simple life you could have if you just stopped pushing yourself so hard. This is his final seduction, his last chance to reclaim control. This is the moment that separates those who transform from those who just talk about transformation. Will you choose the familiar pain of staying the same, or the unfamiliar discomfort of becoming new? Will you honor the comfort of your old identity, or will you honor the vision of who you're meant to be? Because let me tell you something that will change everything for you. Your future self is already real. He exists in the realm of possibility, waiting for you to claim him through your choices. Every moment you delay is a moment he remains trapped, while your old self continues to rule your life. Every day you postpone the death of your limitations is another day your potential suffocates. The war isn't between you and the world. The war is between who you were and who you're meant to be. And this war isn't fought once. It's fought every morning when you wake up. Every moment you face a choice. Every time you decide whether to rise or remain. It's fought in the small moments when no one is watching, when there's no applause, when the only witness is your own conscience. You must understand that your old self has been telling you a story about who you are, what you're capable of, what you deserve. That story has been playing on repeat in your mind for so long that you've accepted it as truth. But it's not truth. It's simply a story that's been told so many times, it feels real. The person you're becoming has a different story. In his story, you're not limited by your past. In his story, you're not defined by your failures. In his story, you're not bound by what others think is possible for you. In his story, you are the author of your own destiny, the creator of your own reality, the master of your own fate. But stories only have power when we believe them, and belief only has power when we act from it. You must begin to act from the story of who you're becoming, not from the story of who you've been. You must make choices that align with your new identity, not your old one. This requires a level of faith that most people are unwilling to exercise. Faith in the unseen, faith in the untested, faith in the version of yourself that exists only in potential. You must be willing to disappoint the person you've been in order to become the person you're meant to be. Every great transformation in history has required someone to die to their former state and be reborn into a new one. The caterpillar must die for the butterfly to emerge. The seed must die for the tree to grow. The old you must die for the new you to live. This death is not physical, but it is absolute. It means that the thoughts you've thought, the emotions you've felt, the patterns you've followed, they must cease to exist in your new reality. You cannot carry the consciousness of failure into success. You cannot carry the vibration of poverty into wealth. You cannot carry the identity of limitation into freedom. The process of becoming unrecognizable to your former self is not gentle. It's not comfortable. It's not easy. It requires you to question everything you've accepted as true about yourself. It requires you to challenge every limitation you've embraced. It requires you to shatter every ceiling you've placed over your own head. But this discomfort is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're on the right one. The resistance you feel is not your intuition telling you to stop. It's your old self fighting for survival. The doubt that creeps in is not wisdom. It's fear, dressed up as reason. You must develop an unshakable commitment to the vision of who you're becoming. This commitment cannot be emotional. Emotions change. It cannot be motivational. Motivation fades. It must be structural. It must be built into your daily routine, your non-negotiables, your way of being in the world. This means that every decision you make must pass through one filter. Does this align with the person I'm becoming, or does it serve the person I'm outgrowing? Every action, every choice, every thought must be measured against this standard. If it serves your new identity, it stays. If it serves your old identity, it dies. The person you're becoming doesn't just have better habits. He has a completely different relationship with discipline. He doesn't see discipline as restriction. He sees it as freedom. He doesn't see standards as pressure. He sees them as power. He doesn't see challenges as obstacle. He sees them as opportunities to prove who he's become. Your new identity cannot be built on the foundation of your old one. You cannot simply add new behaviors to old patterns and expect transformation. The entire structure must be rebuilt from the ground up. This is why partial change never works. This is why gradual improvement leads to gradual results. You need radical change to create radical results. Most people are afraid of radical change because they think it means losing themselves. But you're not losing yourself. You're finding yourself. The person you've been is not who you are. It's who you learned to be. And what is learned can be unlearned. What is practiced can be repracticed. What is chosen can be chosen again, differently. The real you, the powerful, focused, unstoppable you, has been buried under layers of conditioning, limitation, and fear. The process of transformation is not about becoming someone new. It's about removing everything that isn't you. It's about stripping away the false identity you've worn for so long that you forgot it was a costume. This is why the resistance is so strong. Your old self knows that he's not really you. He's just a role you've been playing. And like any actor who's played a role for too long, you've forgotten where the character ends and you begin. The process of transformation is about remembering who you really are underneath all the layers of who you've pretended to be. The version of you that settles, that compromises, that accepts less than you deserve. That's not you. That's just fear wearing your face. The version of you that doubts, that hesitates, that plays small, that's not you either. That's just conditioning speaking with your voice. The real you is bold. The real you is confident. The real you is relentless in pursuit of your vision. The real you doesn't ask permission. The real you doesn't seek approval. The real you doesn't wait for the right moment, because the real you knows that every moment is the right moment when you decide to make it so. But here's what most people don't understand about this process. The death of your old self is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. Every morning, you must choose to kill the person you were yesterday and become the person you're meant to be today. Every moment, you must choose to act from your new identity rather than your old one. This is why consistency is so crucial. Not because habits are important, but because identity is formed through repetition. Every time you act in alignment with your new identity, you strengthen it. Every time you act from your old identity, you resurrect it. The person you become is simply the person you most consistently choose to be. The tragedy is not that people fail to change, it's that they fail to choose. They wait for transformation to happen to them instead of making it happen through them. They hope for a different life while continuing to live the same way. They dream of a new identity while feeding the old one. But you're different. You're listening to these words because something inside you knows it's time. Time to stop negotiating with your limitations. Time to stop being loyal to your past. Time to stop carrying the weight of who you used to be. The person you're becoming is not just a better version of who you are. He's a completely different person. He thinks different thoughts, feels different emotions, makes different choices. He has different standards, different expectations, different non-negotiables. He operates from a different level of consciousness entirely. This new consciousness cannot be achieved through thinking alone. It must be embodied through action. You must begin to move through the world as the person you're becoming, not as the person you've been. You must speak as he would speak, act as he would act, choose as he would choose. This is what I mean when I say you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must assume the identity of the person who already has what you want, not because you're pretending, but because you're recognizing the truth of who you really are, beneath all the layers of who you've pretended to be. The process of becoming is not about adding something to yourself. It's about subtracting everything that isn't you. It's about removing the mask you've worn for so long that you forgot you were wearing it. It's about shedding the skin you've outgrown, but continue to wear out of habit. This shedding process is uncomfortable because you're leaving behind the familiar. You're walking away from the known. You're stepping into the unknown with nothing but faith to guide you. But this faith is not blind. It's based on the absolute certainty that who you're becoming is who you've always been meant to be. The resistance you feel is not from your true self. It's from the false self that's been in control for too long. Your true self wants to emerge. Your true self wants to express itself. Your true self wants to create the life you've always dreamed of. The only thing standing in the way is the false self that's afraid of losing control. But control is an illusion. The old you was never in control. He was simply reacting to circumstances, responding to conditions, living at the mercy of external events. The new you doesn't seek control. He exercises power. He doesn't react to circumstances. He creates them. He doesn't respond to conditions. He establishes them. This is the difference between living from the outside in and living from the inside out. The old you lived from the outside in, letting external circumstances dictate internal states. The new you lives from the inside out, letting internal states create external circumstances. This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of waiting for conditions to change so you can feel different, you change how you feel to create different conditions. Instead of waiting for circumstances to improve so you can act differently, you act differently to improve circumstances. Instead of waiting for life to get better so you can be better, you become better to make life better. The person you're becoming understands that he is not the victim of his circumstances. He is the creator of them. He doesn't happen to life. Life happens through him. He doesn't experience reality. He expresses it. He doesn't find his purpose. He creates it. This understanding completely transforms how you move through the world. You stop looking for opportunities and start creating them. You stop waiting for permission and start granting it to yourself. You stop seeking validation and start providing it for yourself. But this transformation cannot be partial. You cannot be the new you in some areas of your life and the old you in others. Identity is not compartmentalized. It's integrated. The person you are in one area of your life is the person you are in all areas of your life. This is why surface-level changes never create lasting transformation. You cannot change your results without changing your identity. You cannot change your circumstances without changing your consciousness. You cannot change your life without changing yourself. The person you've been created, the life you're living. If you want a different life, you must become a different person. Not a slightly improved version of who you are, but a fundamentally different person with a fundamentally different way of being in the world. This different way of being is not about doing more. It's about being more. It's not about having more. It's about becoming more. It's not about getting different results. It's about becoming a different cause. The old you was focused on effects, trying to change results without changing causes. The new you is focused on causes, understanding that when you change the cause, the effects must change as well. When you change who you are, what you have must change to match. This is the law of correspondence in action. As above, so below. As within, so without. As you are, so you experience. Change your identity, and your reality must change to reflect it. This is not philosophy. This is practical metaphysics. This is how the universe works. But here's the crucial point. that determines whether this works for you or not. You must make this change at the level of identity, not just behavior. Behavior modification can create temporary change, but identity transformation creates permanent change. Behavior is what you do, but identity is who you are. The person you're becoming is not just someone who does different things. He's someone who is fundamentally different. He doesn't just act confidently. He is confident. He doesn't just behave successfully. He is successful. He doesn't just do disciplined things. He is disciplined. This is the difference between having and being. The old you was focused on having more money, having better relationships, having a better life. The new you is focused on being wealthy, being loving, being successful. When you change what you are, what you have must change to match. So here's my final question for you, and your answer will determine everything that happens next. Are you ready to become unrecognizable to your former self? Are you ready to make choices that your old identity would never make? Are you ready to live from a place of power instead of a place of hope? Because if you are, then everything changes starting now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when circumstances align. Now, the person you're capable of becoming is not a future possibility. He's a present choice. And that choice, made consistently, becomes your new reality. Your old self had his time. He served a purpose. He got you to where you are. But where you are is not where you're going. Where you're going requires someone new, someone stronger, someone who's not afraid to claim what's his, someone who's not willing to settle for less than everything he's capable of. The question isn't whether you can change. The question is whether you will. Whether you'll finally stop being loyal to the limitations that have kept you small and start being faithful to the vision that calls you forward. Whether you'll finally kill the version of yourself that's been killing your dreams. If this message has awakened something in you, if you feel that shift happening inside as you hear these words, then you're ready. You're ready to stop being a victim of your past and start being the architect of your future. You're ready to stop reacting to your life and start creating it. You're ready to stop hoping for change and start commanding it. The death of your former self is not a loss. It's a liberation. It's not an ending. It's a beginning. It's not a tragedy. It's a triumph. Because in his death, you are reborn. In his absence, you are present. In his weakness, you find your strength. The transformation begins now. The old you dies now. The new you is born now. Not gradually, not eventually, not someday. Now. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your opportunity to finally become who you've always been meant to be. The only question remaining is this: will you take it? My dear friends, in this lecture, you'll discover the one secret that has the power to dissolve every problem you've ever faced. What if I revealed to you that you are not who you think you are, and that this misunderstanding is the root of all your suffering? Tonight I'm going to share with you the most profound truth I've ever discovered. A truth so powerful that once you grasp it, truly grasp it, worry becomes impossible. Fear dissolves like mist before the sun, and every challenge transforms into a doorway to your desires. But before I reveal this secret, let me ask you something that will shake you to your very core. Right now, as you listen to my voice, who do you believe yourself to be? Are you John, struggling with debt that keeps you awake at night? Are you Mary, anxious about whether your partner truly loves you? Are you someone carrying the crushing weight of past failures, drowning in future uncertainties, suffocated by present limitations? If you answered yes to any of these, then you are living in the grandest illusion ever conceived. You are not your name. You are not your circumstances. You are not your bank balance, your job title, your relationship status. You are not even your thoughts and emotions that seem to control your every waking moment. You are the infinite creative power of the universe, temporarily forgetting your true identity. And in this forgetting lies both your suffering and your salvation. When you worry, and I know you do worry, perhaps right now as you listen to these words, You are operating from what I call the finite sense of self. You're identifying with your physical body that ages and aches, your personal history filled with disappointments and regrets, your social circumstances that seem to define and confine you. You've forgotten the magnificent being that you truly are. But tonight, this changes. Tonight, you remember who you really are. Tonight you discover the secret that has been hidden in plain sight your entire life. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, for these words will either liberate you completely or challenge everything you believe about reality. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are God individualized, temporarily wearing the mask of humanity. You are the infinite creative consciousness, pretending to be limited so that you can experience the joy of remembering your unlimited nature. Here's something that will stop you in your tracks and force you to question everything. How can God worry? Think about it deeply. How can the infinite creative force that spoke galaxies into existence, that dreams up every sunset and orchestrates every heartbeat, be concerned about paying rent? How can the consciousness that imagined every star, every ocean, every flower into being, be anxious about what others think of you? It's impossible, isn't it? Completely, utterly impossible. And yet, that's exactly what you are. That same creative power, that same infinite consciousness. The only difference is that you've been hypnotized into believing you're separate from it. You've been mesmerized by the grand illusion that you are small, limited, powerless. But what if I told you that this hypnosis is about to be broken forever? The world you see around you, every problem that torments you, every challenge that seems insurmountable, every limitation that appears to bind you, is not the cause of your experience. It's the effect. It's the outward projection of your inner states of consciousness, like shadows cast by the light of your own mind. This means something so extraordinary that most people cannot accept it when they first hear it. Every circumstance in your life is a reflection of your inner world. That financial struggle that keeps you awake at 3 a.m, it's reflecting a state of lack consciousness that you've been unconsciously occupying. That difficult relationship that brings you pain, it's mirroring your deepest concepts of love, worth, and deserving. That health challenge that frightens you, it's expressing your beliefs about your body, your vitality, your right to be whole and strong. But here's where it gets exciting. And this is the part that will change everything for you. The part that will make you realize you've been living with godlike power all along, without knowing it. If your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, then by changing your inner world, you can transform everything. And I mean everything. Your relationships, your finances, your health, your entire experience of life itself. When you truly understand this, not just intellectually with your reasoning mind, but experientially with every fiber of your being, you'll never look at a problem the same way again. Instead of asking, how can I solve this? You'll ask, what state of consciousness am I occupying that's creating this experience? Instead of trying to change the outer world, you'll focus on changing your inner world, knowing that the outer must conform. This brings me to the most liberating statement you'll ever hear. Words that will set you free from every burden you've ever carried. God will solve it. Now, before you think I'm advocating some form of spiritual passivity, some kind of wishful thinking that expects miracles to fall from the sky, let me clarify what I mean. When I say God will solve it, I'm not referring to some external deity sitting on a cloud, some cosmic figure who may or may not decide to help you. I'm referring to the God within you, the infinite intelligence that is your very essence, the creative power that is your true nature. Stay with me because this next part will literally rewire how you think about problems forever. And I promise you, by the time I finish explaining this, you'll never feel powerless again. When you say God will solve it, you're not abdicating responsibility or washing your hands of your challenges. You're making the most powerful declaration possible. You're aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You're stepping out of the limited perspective of the problem and into the expanded consciousness of the solution. Think about this profound truth. A seed doesn't worry about becoming a mighty oak tree. It doesn't lie awake at night wondering if it has what it takes to grow into something magnificent. It contains within itself the complete pattern of its full expression. The entire oak tree, roots, trunk, branches, leaves, exists as pure potential within that tiny seed. Similarly, your consciousness contains within it the solution to every problem you could ever face. Every challenge that appears in your life already carries within it the seed of its own resolution. But you must learn to plant yourself in the fertile soil of faith, rather than the barren ground of worry. Here's the practical application that will transform your life immediately. And I want you to try this even as you listen to these words. Instead of focusing on your problem, instead of rehearsing it in your mind, discussing it with others, analyzing it from every angle, focus on the feeling of it already being solved. How would you feel right now if your financial struggles were completely over? How would you move through the world if your relationship was perfectly harmonious? What would your mental state be if your health was vibrant and strong? This feeling, this state of consciousness, where your problem is already solved, is the key to allowing God to solve your problem. You see, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end result, rather than from the present problem, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. But wait, this gets even more remarkable, and what I'm about to tell you will completely shatter your concept of time and possibility. In the realm of pure consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Past, present, and future are illusions of the physical world. In consciousness, everything exists in the eternal now. This means your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of its fulfillment with complete conviction. The time it takes to appear in your physical reality depends only on your faith and your persistence in this assumed state. So when I tell you that God will solve your problem, I'm not speaking of some future event. Your problem is already solved, right now, in this very moment. The only question is, are you willing to accept this truth? Think about what this means. Every solution you've ever sought, every answer you've ever needed, every miracle you've ever prayed for, they all exist right now in the realm of infinite possibility. Your job is not to create them. Your job is to select them by assuming the state of consciousness in which they are already yours. Here's something that will surprise you and challenge everything you've been taught about achievement and success. The harder you try to solve your problems, the more you're actually affirming their existence. This is what I call the law of reversed effort. When you struggle and strain to make something happen, when you push and force and manipulate circumstances, you're operating from the consciousness of lack, the very consciousness that created the problem in the first place. You're saying to the universe, I don't have this and I need to make it happen. But the universe only knows how to say yes to your state of consciousness. Instead of trying harder, try less. Instead of doing more, be more. Rest in the knowing that the infinite intelligence within you, the same intelligence that grows your hair without your conscious effort, that beats your heart while you sleep, that orchestrates the intricate dance of billions of cells in your body, is fully capable of solving whatever you're facing. This isn't about being passive or inactive. It's about being aligned. When you're truly aligned with the consciousness of the solution, inspired action flows naturally. You won't feel like you're struggling upstream against the current of life. Instead, you'll find yourself carried by a river of synchronicity toward your desired outcome. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, having the right ideas, receiving the right opportunities. This isn't coincidence. This is consciousness in action. This is God, which you are, orchestrating your reality with infinite intelligence and perfect timing. Let me share with you one of the most powerful techniques I know for allowing God to solve your problems. A practice that has transformed countless lives and will transform yours, if you use it faithfully. Revision. Each night before you sleep, as you're lying in bed preparing to enter the state of consciousness, where all creation begins, review the events of your day. But here's the crucial part. Don't review them as they appeared to your physical senses. Revise them to align with the state of your problems being solved. Had a challenging conversation with your boss? Revise it to have gone perfectly. with your boss expressing confidence in your abilities. Receive discouraging news about your finances, revise it to be encouraging news about new opportunities. Felt anxious about your relationship, revise yourself as feeling completely loved and secure. This technique works because your memories are not fixed recordings stored somewhere in your brain like files on a computer. They're fluid, living things that are constantly being reconstructed each time you remember them. By consciously revising your memories, you're literally reshaping your past. And as you change your past in imagination, you change your future in reality. But the power of revision goes even deeper than this. When you revise your day to align with your problems being solved, you're not just changing your memories, you're changing your identity. You're becoming the person who naturally attracts solutions rather than problems. The person who moves through life with confidence and grace rather than fear and struggle. Now some of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't this just fantasy? Isn't this self-deception? And to this I say, what you call reality is already a form of imagination. The difference is that most people are unconsciously imagining what they don't want, while I'm teaching you to consciously imagine what you do want. Every night, as you practice revision, you're planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These seeds must grow into your outer experience, because that's the law of consciousness. What you vividly imagine and feel to be true becomes true in your experience. When you assume the state of your problem being solved, truly assume it with feeling and conviction, a series of events is automatically set in motion to bring about the manifestation of your desire. I call this the bridge of incidents. You don't need to know how God will solve your problem. You don't need to figure out the steps, manipulate the circumstances, or force the outcome. Your job is simply to maintain your assumption and trust the bridge. Each event, each encounter, each seeming coincidence is part of this bridge leading you to the complete manifestation of your solved problem. Here's something that will amaze you and fill you with wonder at the intelligence of the universe. Once you truly embody the consciousness of your problem being solved, the entire universe begins to conspire in your favor. People you've never met will play their perfect parts in your unfolding solution. Circumstances will align in ways that seem miraculous but are actually the natural result of your changed consciousness. Opportunities will present themselves at precisely the right moment. Resources will appear from unexpected sources. Doors will open that you didn't even know existed. And all of this will happen not because you forced it, but because you aligned yourself with it through your consciousness. This is what I mean when I say that God will solve it. The infinite intelligence that created and maintains the universe is not separate from you. It is you. And this intelligence knows exactly how to bring about the solution to your problem in the most perfect, harmonious way possible. But here's something crucial that I must emphasize. This is not about sitting back and waiting for miracles to happen while you do nothing. When you're truly aligned with the consciousness of the solution, you'll be inspired to take what I call right action. This action won't feel like struggle or effort. It won't be driven by fear or desperation. Instead, it will feel natural, even inevitable. You'll find yourself making phone calls that lead to breakthrough conversations. You'll be inspired to visit places where you meet exactly the right person. You'll have ideas that seem to come from nowhere but lead to perfect solutions. The difference between right action and wrong action is the consciousness from which it springs. Wrong action comes from the consciousness of the problem. It's driven by fear, worry, and the need to force an outcome. Right action comes from the consciousness of the solution. It's inspired, effortless, and aligned with the natural flow of your good. Pay attention to your inner conversations, the thoughts you think and the words you speak to yourself throughout the day. These conversations are shaping your reality more powerfully than any action you could take in the outer world. Most people have no idea how much power their inner dialogue holds. They spend their days thinking and talking about their problems, rehearsing their fears, anticipating negative outcomes, and then they wonder why their lives are filled with the very things they don't want. If you're constantly thinking and talking about your problems, you're reinforcing their existence in your experience. You're giving them life through your attention, feeding them with your emotional energy, strengthening their hold on your reality. Instead, have inner conversations that align with your problems being solved. Speak to yourself as if the solution is already in place. Have imaginary conversations with others, where you discuss the wonderful resolution of your situation. Thank people for their help in bringing about your good fortune, even if this conversation exists only in your imagination. These inner conversations are not just fantasies. They're powerful creative forces that are literally reshaping the substance of your reality. Remember, your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. When you have these conversations with feeling and conviction, your subconscious accepts them as real and begins to work to make them real in your outer experience. Let me tell you about a state of consciousness that is crucial to allowing God to solve your problems. What I call the Sabbath state. After you've done your imaginative work, after you've assumed the feeling of your problem being solved, after you've revised your day and had your inner conversations, enter into complete rest. The Sabbath state is a state of total release from all effort, a state of knowing that your work is done. In this state, you no longer feel the need to make the solution happen because you know it already is happening. You rest in the certainty of the outcome, allowing God to work through the natural unfolding of events. This rest is not the rest of exhaustion or defeat. It's the rest of completion, the peace that comes from knowing that everything is handled. It's like planting a seed and then leaving it alone to grow, trusting that the intelligence within the seed knows exactly what to do. Many people struggle with this state because they've been conditioned to believe that they must be constantly doing something to create change. But the truth is that the most important work happens in consciousness, and once that work is complete, the outer manifestation is inevitable. The Sabbath state is not about being lazy or inactive. It's about operating from the consciousness of completion rather than the consciousness of need. When you're truly in this state, any action you take flows from inspiration rather than desperation, from fullness rather than emptiness. The next one is perhaps the most important concept I can share with you, and I want you to really let this sink into your consciousness. Live from the end. Don't live hoping your problem will be solved someday in the future. Live as if it's already solved right now, in this very moment. When you truly do this, when you embody the consciousness of the solution rather than the problem, time collapses. The future you desire becomes your present reality. You're not waiting for change to happen. You're experiencing it now. Think about what it would mean to live from the end of your financial struggles. You wouldn't check your bank balance with anxiety. You'd check it with the quiet confidence of someone who always has enough. You wouldn't worry about bills. You'd pay them knowing that the money flows to you as easily as breath flows through your lungs. Think about what it would mean to live from the end of your relationship problems. You wouldn't wonder if you're loved. You'd know it with unshakable certainty. You wouldn't try to control or manipulate your partner. You'd rest in the security of perfect love. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is alignment with your true nature and your ultimate good. When you live from the end, you're not denying your current circumstances. You're choosing to identify with your desired reality rather than your present appearance. Cultivate gratitude, not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen solution that is even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. This gratitude is not just a nice feeling. It's a powerful creative force that aligns you with the frequency of your desires fulfilled. When you're truly grateful for your problems being solved, even before you see evidence, you're opening a doorway for miracles to enter your experience. Gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity. It says to the universe, I am ready to receive my good. It acknowledges that your good is already on its way, already in motion, already seeking expression through you. Practice this kind of gratitude throughout your day. Thank God for the solution that is unfolding. Thank the people who will play their parts in your good fortune. Thank the circumstances that are aligning for your benefit. Do this even when, especially when, you can't see any evidence in the outer world. Never forget this fundamental truth. You are not separate from God. You are an individualized expression of the infinite creative power. The same intelligence that set the stars in their courses flows through your consciousness. The same love that holds galaxies together beats in your heart. The same creative force that imagined the universe into existence lives and moves and has its being, as you. When you remember this truth, really remember it, not just as a nice idea, but as a living reality, every problem becomes an opportunity to witness the divine power in action. Every challenge becomes a chance to exercise your godlike nature. Every obstacle becomes a stepping stone to greater expression of your infinite potential. Here's the ultimate secret, the one truth that changes everything. You don't need to become someone new to solve your problems. You need to remember who you've always been. You need to stop pretending to be limited and start expressing your unlimited nature. You are not your circumstances. You are not your challenges. You are not your past failures or future fears. You are the awareness in which all these experiences appear and disappear like clouds in the vastness of the sky. Trusting that God will solve your problem is not a one-time event. It's a continuous choice, a moment-by-moment decision to align with your true nature rather than your temporary appearance. You must persist in this state of faith even when the outer world shows no sign of change, even when others doubt you, even when your own mind tries to convince you it's not working. This persistence is what separates those who successfully transform their lives from those who give up too soon. Think of it like moving to a new home. You don't wake up each morning wondering where you are, looking around confused and uncertain. You naturally assume your new surroundings because you know where you live. This is how you must be with your faith, that God will solve your problem. It should become your new normal, your new home state. Even when the old familiar thoughts of worry try to move back in, you gently but firmly remind them that they no longer live here. But what if you falter? What if you find yourself slipping back into worry and doubt? Do not despair. Do not judge yourself harshly. Simply acknowledge what has happened and return to your state of faith and surrender. Remember, you are breaking lifelong habits of thought and feeling. It takes practice, patience, and persistence. As you practice these principles, as you truly embody the consciousness that God will solve it, you'll notice something remarkable happening. Your entire perception of life shifts. What once seemed like insurmountable obstacles now appear as stepping stones to greater expression. What once felt like punishment now feels like preparation. You begin to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as the creator of experiences. Not as someone hoping for change, but as someone allowing transformation. Not as someone begging God for help, but as someone remembering that you are the very God you've been praying to. And here's the most beautiful part of this entire journey, the revelation that brings tears of joy to those who truly understand it. When you fully awaken to your true nature, when you completely embody the consciousness that God will solve it, you realize something profound and liberating. There never was a problem to begin with. There was only God, which you are, pretending to have problems so that God could experience the infinite joy of remembering its unlimited power to solve them. Every challenge you faced has been a game of cosmic hide and seek, with the infinite playing at being finite, the unlimited pretending to be limited, the eternal acting as if it were temporary. And now the game is ending. Now you're remembering who you really are. So I ask you now, as we near the end of our time together, are you ready to stop living as a limited human being and start expressing as the infinite creative power you truly are? Are you willing to release your attachment to problems and embrace your identity as the solution to everything you've ever sought? The choice is yours. It has always been yours. The power is within you. It has always been within you. The time is now. It has always been now. Remember this as you go forward. You are not your circumstances. You are not your challenges. You are not even your thoughts and emotions. You are the awareness in which all these experiences arise and pass away. You are the infinite creative power of the universe, temporarily wearing the mask of humanity, playing the game of limitation, so you can experience the ecstasy of remembering your unlimited nature. Tonight, as you go to sleep, carry this truth with you like a precious treasure. God will solve it. Not because you hope so, not because you wish it to be true, but because you are God individualized. And it is impossible, utterly impossible, for you to have a problem that you cannot solve. Rest in this knowing. Live from this truth. Breathe this reality into every cell of your being, and watch with wonder and gratitude as your entire world transforms to match the magnificent being you've always been, but temporarily forgot. The secret that changes everything is this: you are everything. You are the problem, you are the solution, and you are the creative power that bridges them both. You are the dreamer and the dream, the seeker and the sought, the question and the answer. Welcome home to your true self. Welcome home to your divine nature. Welcome home to a life where God solves everything, because God is who you are, who you've always been, and who you'll always be. Do you ever feel stuck, like your ideal life is just out of reach? What if the solution isn't about creating something new, but finding a version of yourself that already exists within the quantum realm? Today, we're exploring the mind-bending science that could unlock your ability to manifest desired realities by navigating your parallel selves. What if the few who already has everything you desire isn't in the future, but exists right now in a parallel reality? And what if I told you there's a way to access that version of yourself, to literally manifest your deepest desires by tapping into the quantum field? Get ready to redefine what's possible, because what you're about to discover will challenge everything you thought you knew about the nature of reality itself. Let's start with something that might blow your mind. According to cutting-edge physics, the universe you're experiencing right now might be just one of infinite realities existing simultaneously. This isn't science fiction. This is modern quantum mechanics, and it's fundamentally changing how we understand existence itself. The quantum field is the fundamental fabric of reality itself, an invisible energy matrix from which all matter and possibilities emerge. Think of it as the cosmic internet, where every potential version of your life exists as data, waiting to be accessed. But here's where it gets fascinating. This field isn't just some abstract concept that scientists study in laboratories. It's the very foundation of your existence, responding to your thoughts, emotions, and intentions every single moment of every single day. String theory suggests that reality operates on multiple dimensions we can't perceive with our five senses, while the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics proposes that every decision, every moment, every possibility branches into countless parallel universes. In one reality, you took that job offer that would have changed your entire career trajectory. In another, you moved to that city you've always dreamed about. In yet another, you're already living your most abundant, fulfilled, joyous life. These aren't just theoretical possibilities. According to the mathematics of quantum physics, these realities are as real as the one you're experiencing right now. But here's the fascinating question that scientists are starting to explore, and it's a question that could revolutionize your understanding of personal transformation. If these realities exist, and the math suggests they do, can we consciously interact with them? Can we tune into the frequency of our most successful, happiest, most fulfilled parallel selves? And more importantly, can we learn to shift from the reality we're currently experiencing to one that aligns with our deepest desires? Here's where it gets personal, and where everything you thought you knew about yourself is about to shift. You are not a fixed entity. You're not stuck being the same person forever, trapped in the same patterns, limited by the same beliefs, or confined to the same circumstances. At the quantum level, you are a dynamic energy field, constantly vibrating, constantly shifting, constantly choosing which reality to align with. Every single moment, you're making quantum decisions that determine which parallel universe you'll experience next. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, creates what I call your vibrational signature. This signature acts like a radio frequency, naturally attracting and aligning with realities that match your energetic state. Think about this for a moment. When you're in a state of gratitude and abundance, don't you notice more opportunities appearing in your life? When you're vibrating with love and appreciation, don't relationships seem to flow more smoothly? Conversely, when you're stuck in fear and scarcity, doesn't it feel like doors keep closing, like the universe is working against you? This isn't coincidence, and it's not just positive thinking. This is quantum physics in action. Your parallel selves are essentially different vibrational versions of you, existing simultaneously across multiple dimensions. There's the confident you who speaks up in meetings and takes bold action toward your dreams. There's the abundant you who makes decisions from a place of plenty rather than lack. There's the creative you who expresses your gifts fearlessly. There's the loving you who attracts deep, meaningful relationships. There's the healthy you who feels energized and vital. There's the successful you who has already achieved what you're currently working toward. They're not fantasies or wishful thinking. They're quantum possibilities that exist in parallel dimensions, operating at different frequencies, living different realities based on different vibrational states. And here's the incredible part that most people never realize. You can learn to tune into these frequencies intentionally. You can consciously shift from one vibrational state to another, effectively moving from one reality to a parallel reality where your desired outcomes already exist. This is the secret that quantum manifestation masters understand. You don't need to create your ideal life from scratch. You need to align with the version of it that already exists. Now let's get practical. How do you actually shift from the reality you're experiencing to the one you desire? How do you move from the current version of yourself to the parallel self who's already living your dream life? The secret lies in understanding that manifestation isn't about forcing the universe to give you something. It's not about pushing and struggling and trying to make things happen through sheer willpower. True manifestation is about aligning your vibrational frequency with the parallel self who already has what you want. First, let's talk about focused intention. And this is crucial because most people get this completely wrong. This isn't casual wishing or hoping things will somehow work out. This is laser-focused clarity about which version of yourself you want to embody. When you set a clear intention, you're essentially programming your quantum GPS to navigate toward that specific reality. You're telling the quantum field exactly which parallel self you want to align with. But here's what most people miss. Your intention must be specific, emotionally charged, and consistently maintained. The quantum field responds to clarity and emotional intensity, not vague wishes. But intention alone isn't enough. Here's what separates those who successfully shift realities from those who remain stuck in the same patterns. Visualization becomes your quantum bridge. When you visualize with emotional intensity, you're not just daydreaming or engaging in wishful thinking. You're actually rehearsing the vibrational state of your parallel self. Your brain begins firing in the same neural patterns as the version of you who already lives that reality. Scientists have discovered that the brain can't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one, which means when you visualize consistently and emotionally, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways to match those of your desired parallel self. Think of it like this. If you want to tune into a specific radio station, you adjust the frequency dial until the signal becomes clear. Visualization with emotion is how you adjust your personal frequency dial. The more vividly you can imagine being the version of yourself who has already achieved your desires, the more you align with that quantum reality. But here's the key. It's not just about seeing the end result. You need to embody the feeling state, the emotional signature, the complete vibrational experience of that parallel self. Positive affirmations work because they literally reprogram the quantum field around you. When you declare, "I am abundant," you're not lying to yourself or trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true. You're acknowledging the parallel reality where that statement is already true, and inviting that frequency into your current experience. But most people use affirmations incorrectly. They say the words without feeling the truth of them. They repeat phrases while their emotional state contradicts what they're affirming. True quantum affirmations must be felt as truth in your body, not just spoken with your mouth. Now, you might be thinking this sounds too good to be true. Let me share what the research actually says, because the science behind these concepts is absolutely fascinating and increasingly supported by peer-reviewed research. Quantum entanglement shows us that particles can instantly affect each other across vast distances, maintaining a connection that transcends space and time. If subatomic particles can influence reality through connection, Imagine what your consciousness can do when properly focused and aligned. Your thoughts and emotions are quantum events, and they ripple through the field of infinite possibilities, attracting experiences that match their vibrational signature. Neuroplasticity research reveals that visualization literally rewires your brain. When you consistently imagine yourself living differently, thinking differently, feeling differently, your neural pathways begin mirroring those of someone who actually lives that way. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that people who practice heart-brain coherence and elevated emotional states can literally change their gene expression, their neural networks, and their electromagnetic field. This isn't just mental training. This is physical transformation at the cellular level. The observer effect in quantum physics demonstrates that consciousness itself influences reality at the quantum level. The very act of observation collapses quantum possibilities into physical reality. Your attention and intention aren't passive, they're active forces that shape what manifests in your experience. When you focus your attention on a particular outcome with clear intention and elevated emotion, you're literally participating in the quantum creation process. Double-slit experiments have shown that particles behave differently when they're being observed versus when they're not. This suggests that consciousness plays a fundamental role in determining physical reality. If consciousness can influence the behavior of subatomic particles, then your conscious choice of which parallel self to embody could theoretically influence which quantum reality you experience. This isn't mysticism disguised as science. This is science catching up to what mystics, shamans, and spiritual teachers have known for centuries. The quantum field responds to consciousness. Reality is far more fluid and malleable than we've been taught to believe. You have far more power to influence your experience than you've ever imagined. But let's go even deeper into the practical application of these principles. How do you identify which parallel self you want to embody? How do you know if you're successfully shifting your vibrational frequency? How do you maintain alignment when your current circumstances seem to contradict your desired reality? First, you need to get crystal clear about who you want to become, not just what you want to have. Most people focus on external outcomes, the money, the relationship, the house, the career success. But your parallel selves are differentiated by their internal states, their ways of being, their vibrational signatures. The wealthy version of you doesn't just have more money. They think differently about abundance. They feel differently about their worth. They make decisions from a completely different energetic foundation. The confident version of you doesn't just act confident. They have a fundamentally different relationship with themselves and their capabilities. So instead of asking, what do I want? Start asking, who do I want to be? How does the version of you who has achieved your desires think about themselves? How do they move through the world? What beliefs do they hold? How do they respond to challenges? What does their inner dialogue sound like? How do they feel when they wake up in the morning? These are the details that create vibrational specificity. Here's a powerful technique that quantum manifestation masters use. They create what I call a parallel self profile. They write detailed descriptions of their desired parallel self, not just the external circumstances, but the complete internal and external experience. They describe their thoughts, their feelings, their daily routines, their relationships, their challenges and how they handle them, their moments of joy and celebration. The more detailed and emotionally vivid this profile becomes, the easier it is to align with that vibrational frequency. But here's where most people get stuck. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. You cannot manifest from a state of lack or desperation. If you're trying to become abundant because you feel poor, you're actually reinforcing the vibration of poverty. If you're trying to attract love because you feel lonely, you're amplifying the frequency of loneliness. The quantum field responds to your current vibrational state, not your desired future state. This means you must find a way to embody the feeling of already having what you desire, even before it manifests physically. This is what I call quantum faith, the ability to feel grateful for what hasn't yet appeared in your physical reality. It's the capacity to feel abundant before the money arrives, to feel loved before the relationship manifests, to feel successful before the external validation comes. This isn't delusion or denial. This is quantum alignment. You're choosing to vibrate at the frequency of your desired parallel self instead of the frequency of your current circumstances. Let me share a profound technique that can accelerate this process. Morning quantum attunement. Every morning before you check your phone, before you start thinking about your to-do list, before you engage with the external world, you spend time connecting with your desired parallel self. You close your eyes and step into their reality. You feel what they feel, think what they think, experience what they experience. You let their vibrational signature fill your entire being. You become them, not just in imagination, but in energetic reality. This isn't just visualization. This is quantum identity shifting. You're literally tuning your energy field to match that of your parallel self. And here's what's fascinating. The more consistently you do this, the more your external reality begins to shift to match your internal vibrational state. Opportunities start appearing. People start responding to you differently. Circumstances begin aligning in ways that seem almost magical, but are actually the natural result of quantum alignment. But what about resistance? What about the voice in your head that says this is too good to be true? Or people like me don't get to live like that. Or I don't deserve this level of success and happiness. These resistant thoughts and beliefs create vibrational static that interferes with your ability to align with your desired parallel self. They're like radio interference that distorts the signal you're trying to tune into. Here's how to work with resistance rather than against it. Acknowledge these limiting beliefs as remnants of old programming, old vibrational patterns that belong to a parallel self you're choosing to move away from. Don't fight them or try to suppress them. That only gives them more energy. Instead, thank them for trying to protect you, and then consciously choose to align with a different vibrational truth. For example, if the thought, "I'm not smart enough to be successful," arises, you might say, "Thank you for trying to protect me from disappointment. But I'm choosing to align with the parallel self who knows their intelligence is more than adequate for their success." You're not denying the old belief or fighting it. You're simply choosing a different vibrational reality. This brings us to one of the most important aspects of quantum manifestation that nobody talks about, the transition period. When you start shifting your vibrational frequency, there's often a period where your external reality hasn't caught up to your internal transformation yet. This is when most people give up, thinking the process isn't working. But this transition period is actually a sign that the quantum shift is occurring. During this time, you might experience what I call vibrational turbulence. Situations that seem to contradict your desired reality. Challenges that test your commitment to your new vibrational identity. Or old patterns that seem to intensify before they dissolve. This isn't the universe working against you. This is the old quantum reality, making its final attempts to maintain itself before the new reality fully manifests. The key during this transition period is to maintain your vibrational alignment regardless of external appearances. Keep embodying your parallel self even when circumstances seem to suggest it's not working. Keep feeling abundant even when the bills pile up. Keep feeling confident even when you face rejection. Keep feeling worthy even when others doubt you. Your unwavering commitment to your new vibrational identity is what allows the quantum shift to complete itself. Here's something else that's crucial to understand. Quantum manifestation isn't always about changing your external circumstances. Sometimes it's about shifting to a parallel reality where those same circumstances exist, but your relationship to them is completely different. Maybe the parallel self you're meant to embody finds joy and fulfillment in situations that your current self finds challenging. Maybe they have a different perspective that transforms struggle into growth, obstacles into opportunities, setbacks into setups for greater success. This is why the focus must always be on who you're being, not just what you're having. When you embody the vibrational signature of your most empowered, joyful, abundant parallel self, your entire experience of life transforms, often before any external changes occur. Let's talk about another advanced technique, quantum scripting. This involves writing detailed descriptions of your life from the perspective of your desired parallel self, but written in present tense, as if it's already your reality. You describe your typical day, your relationships, your work, your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences, all from the vibrational state of the parallel self you want to embody. But here's the crucial part. When you write these scripts, you must feel them as true. You must let yourself experience the emotions of that reality as you write. You're not writing fiction, you're connecting with a quantum reality that already exists. The more emotionally invested you become in these scripts, the more your vibrational frequency aligns with that parallel self. Some people create multiple scripts for different aspects of their desired reality, their ideal day, their perfect relationship, their dream career, their optimal health, their financial abundance. The key is to make these scripts so emotionally compelling that reading them immediately shifts your vibrational state. Now, let's address something that often confuses people: the role of action in quantum manifestation. Some people think that if they just visualize and affirm and align vibrationally, everything will magically appear without any effort on their part. But here's the truth. Inspired action is a crucial component of quantum manifestation. The difference is that this action comes from alignment rather than desperation, from joy rather than fear, from trust rather than doubt. When you're aligned with your desired parallel self, you'll feel inspired to take certain actions. These won't feel forced or difficult. They'll feel like natural expressions of who you're becoming. You might feel inspired to learn a new skill, to reach out to certain people, to pursue particular opportunities, to make specific changes in your life. This inspired action is actually part of the quantum manifestation process. It's how the universe orchestrates the physical manifestation of your new reality. The key is to distinguish between inspired action and desperate action. Inspired action feels energizing, exciting, and aligned. It comes from a place of, I get to do this, rather than I have to do this. Desperate action feels heavy, forced, and exhausting. It comes from a place of fear and lack, rather than trust and abundance. Here's another profound aspect of quantum manifestation: the ripple effect. When you shift your vibrational frequency and align with a different parallel self, it doesn't just change your personal experience. It affects everyone around you. Your family members, friends, colleagues, and even strangers you interact with begin responding to your new energetic signature. Relationships transform, opportunities emerge, and synchronicities multiply because you're literally existing in a different quantum reality. This is why personal transformation is ultimately a gift to the world. When you embody your most empowered, joyful, abundant parallel self, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible when someone consciously works with quantum principles to create their desired reality. But here's something even deeper. As you become more skilled at quantum manifestation, you begin to realize that you're not just shifting between parallel versions of yourself, you're actually participating in the evolution of consciousness itself. Every time you choose love over fear, abundance over scarcity, empowerment over victimhood, you're contributing to the collective shift toward higher vibrational realities. This brings us to the concept of quantum responsibility. With the power to consciously navigate parallel realities comes the responsibility to choose realities that serve not just your personal desires, but the highest good of all. The most evolved quantum manifestation practitioners understand that their personal transformation is intimately connected to the transformation of humanity as a whole. So what does this mean for your life, right now, today? It means that manifesting isn't about creating something from nothing. It's about aligning with what already exists in the infinite field of possibilities. Every goal you have, every dream you're chasing, every desire that stirs your soul, there's a parallel version of you who has already achieved it. Your job isn't to figure out how it will happen through struggle and force. Your job is to become the vibrational match for the reality you desire, and let the quantum field orchestrate the perfect unfolding. Here's your quantum transformation challenge. And this is where your new reality begins. Choose one aspect of your life you're ready to shift. Maybe it's your relationship with money, your confidence in relationships, your creative expression, your physical health, or your sense of purpose. Now, instead of focusing on what you currently lack or what's wrong with your current situation, tune into the frequency of the parallel self who has already mastered this aspect of life. Spend at least 20 minutes each day embodying this parallel self. Feel their confidence, their joy, their ease, their wisdom. Think their thoughts, feel their feelings, imagine their daily experience. Make this practice so emotionally vivid that your body begins to believe it's already your reality. And then pay attention to the inspired actions that arise from this aligned state. Follow those impulses with trust and excitement. But don't just do this once or twice and expect miraculous changes overnight. Commit to this practice for at least 30 days, maintaining your vibrational alignment, regardless of what shows up in your external reality during this transition period. Watch what happens when you stop trying to force change and start aligning with the reality that's already waiting for you in the quantum field. Remember, the quantum field is responding to you right now, in this very moment. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, is sending ripples through infinite parallel realities. The question isn't whether you can manifest your desired reality. You're already manifesting constantly. The question is, which parallel self will you consciously choose to embody? Which quantum reality will you align with? Which version of your infinite potential will you bring into physical expression? You have the power to consciously navigate between infinite versions of yourself. You have the ability to align with realities that seemed impossible just moments ago. You have access to parallel selves who have already achieved everything you desire and more. This isn't fantasy. This is your quantum birthright. This is the extraordinary potential that exists within your very being. The parallel self who is living your dream life isn't waiting for someday in the future. They exist right now, in this moment, vibrating at a frequency that you can learn to match. The quantum field that connects all possibilities isn't separate from you. You are an integral part of it, capable of consciously directing its creative power. Your transformation starts now, with your next thought, your next feeling, your next choice of which vibrational reality to embody. The universe is waiting for you to step into your quantum potential. Your parallel selves are waiting for you to recognize and align with them. Your dream reality is waiting for you to become the vibrational match for its manifestation.
you.